Hey everyone, I'm back. I've been at a data science conference for the last week, so I haven't been able to do much duels. Well, I have done a couple of duels over the last couple of days since I've been back, but not enough for a video. So I thought I'd do an OPR video this week just to whet the appetite. So here I push in to the base, but then realise we're outnumbered, so I just push out a little bit just to gauge the situation. But then I see some of our guys pushing in, so I push in to try to help dominate the mid and get the mid for us. So the first thing I really do is just go into the healing circles so that I know I'm getting incoming heals and just try to fight around that. The big problem, of course, is if they've got heals themselves, you can end up just fighting in the middle for ages. But at the moment, there's less of us than them, so I'm just making sure that I'm standing in our heals. And when I get knocked out of it like there, I try to sort of get back in. But we get a couple more people come in, and then we're able to bring some of their kind of bruisers down. So it looks like at the moment, we are dominating mid, which is a good sign for the rest of the OPR. Then I see that healer over in the distance, so I'm like, okay, you're now becoming my target. So when I'm on a healer like this, I don't really care if I kill them. If I'm on a healer and they can't heal anymore, then that's good enough for me. Like me not DPSing and them not healing, I think losing a healer is a bigger disadvantage to them. So now at the moment we've basically won mid, so it's just a matter of capturing it and cleaning all the little dregs out. You see the healer come back in to our left and a couple more reds come in, so I just push up to the door to try to push them out. And yeah, basically the healer's only left, so they hightail it out of there. And then we get this poor old soul, who's the last man standing, and yeah, he has to deal with everyone basically stunning him and hitting him. And I don't know why this guy decides to jump out, but he actually manages to get out. Good job for him. But we have mid, and we have moon, so at the moment the OPR is definitely going in our favour, and at this point people are just kind of filtering in ones and twos, which is even better for us, because we can just wipe them out so easily when they do that. This guy tries to do a riposte on me, but I just wait a little bit before I do my stun. So at the moment I'm just trying to stand in the door, because I know I've got heals on the door, so I'm just trying to sort of stand on the door to stop anyone. It's more of a psychological thing. It's like, if you come in here you have to get through me, so people tend to stay back. And yeah, I also, when I'm standing at the door, sometimes I try to stand to the side like I just did here, so that you can't get hit by every range, but you're still close to the heals. So I find that really helps. So then we just sort of stand around here. I just want to see if any more are going to dribble in, but it seems like they're not. Do a little path of destiny out the door, just to kind of, again, just to, I don't know why I do that actually. And then I just start pushing into them. So I can see that healer there, so I try to get on him. But essentially, I'm just trying to push them back towards their base so we can sort of make our way down there and hopefully get a 3-cap. So I can see, yet again, I can see I'm fighting in the hills, so I'm kind of happy to fight here. But I can also see that he's not really going down either, so he's probably getting in some heals himself. Our guys come up, but I decide to just push back because I can see a healer down there. So I get into their back lines and just try to cause some trouble for them. Get caught in a bit of a stun there, but I've got them on me. I'm taking a lot of damage, but I can see where my heals are, so I just come back to the heals, top myself back up, and then just start pushing down at them again. So I am being kind of hyper aggressive here, but I just don't want a whole bunch of casters and healers just standing there in the background while we've just got all our bruisers fighting in one healing circle and all their bruisers fighting in their healing circle. So I'm pushing to the back line, trying to be a little bad, but I get into a little bit of danger there, so I just come back to get my health back up, let my cooldowns come back down. I see this healer, so I'm trying to kind of be a nuisance to him. He does a riposte, but I know to dodge it, so I just kind of do the stun and then dodge backwards. So I'm just sort of trying to stay on him loosely, but I can sort of see that we're getting a little bit outnumbered there, so I decide to run back to our base to kind of reset ourselves as a team. I can sort of see these guys pushing in, so I try to come up behind them and just do a whole bunch of damage because they're not even looking at me. So hoping to wipe a few. So we managed to get that guy there. So that's one less person we have to deal with. So now we're choking. We've got the choke hold. So again, I'm just standing on the door, trying to make sure that they don't come in. And if they do come in, we kill them. And again, they put a nice little healing circle to the side, so I can't get hit by their range, but I can wait for anyone to try to come in. So now they're starting to filter in. We're still outnumbering them, and I'm just standing in the healing circles once again and just finishing anyone up. And I don't know, like, people are just coming up to me to fight me, so as long as they're coming up and fighting me in my own healing circle, I'm okay with that. So this was the guy that we were fighting before who was standing, so I'd say that he's got someone healing him. So I sort of stand there for a little bit, but he's heavily outnumbered. But you can see the healer just over on the corner there healing him. I haven't noticed it at this stage, but you can hear me sort of go, where's the healer? I'm obviously trying to figure out, because I know the guy's getting heals. Doesn't really matter, though. We start to kill these guys off. Obviously, their healer that was healing them got into a bit of trouble with someone else. And so, once again, it's clean up time in mid. And nice little guy catches us in a nice little shockwave there, but unfortunately it's about 8 of us and 1 of him, so nice little XV1. And then we get a control of mid once more. Once again, do the little Path of Destiny out the doorway just to make sure no one wants to come back in while we try to get a hold of mid. So a lot of this game is just psychological, I think. Like, you know, Path of Destiny even sort of freaks out and thinks, oh no, I don't want to get hit, so they back up, and then that gives you the time to cap. So now I'm just fighting on the front door again, standing in the heels. So it's just sort of cleaning up anyone who's like even remotely thinking about coming in. Yeah, so just running around, XV1ing these dudes, killing them off. So then they have to go back to their little spawn, and we can just push down the road towards Star, and hopefully try to get a triple cap. And then this guy that's fighting with me seems to make it his mission in life to just completely stand in my way every time I try to hit him. It's just like, oh my god, it's just... I mean, it's not really his fault, but it can be really frustrating when you're trying to kill someone and then someone's just standing in your way. So anyway, but it was probably good not to chase that guy. So once again, back in the healing circles, standing in the middle of the, what is it, altars or whatever, big concrete towers. See this little clump here. I know I've got people behind me, so I get quite aggressive, taking a lot of damage, so pop a potion, get back to our heals. But yeah, I can be quite aggressive sometimes. I like to really push in, just because that person's just standing in their heals as well, so I'm trying to get, yeah, you see, I can see the healer there, just trying to get into their back line and push them back a little bit, so then they don't have that support. So now I come pushing out, leading the charge, out through the altars, that's what I'm going to call them.
Nice.
And yeah, we're just pushing our way down to Star as a unified force, so this is good. So at the moment, we are definitely dominating. We just keep pushing them down the hill. And so I just basically try to lead the charge, the Bruiser charge. I get caught in a stun there. It doesn't really matter though. I'm sitting in my heels. So yeah, I mean, we're definitely outnumbering these guys. So it's just a matter of making sure that who we're attacking gets finished off. And just trying to apply those slows and CCs and stuns to make sure that they just have to take all that damage at once. So yeah, so we're just pushing our way through. Finish them off. On our way to Star. Here I get a little bit of single target focus, which is, yeah, a very newbie thing to do, and I realize it, so I stop chasing him. I think as a Bruiser, you're a real... I see that they're going to jump down here. Sorry, I'm just jumping in. I see they're going to jump down here, so I quickly dodge as they leap down, because I know the first thing they're going to do is try to do a stun, and then I try to catch them in my stun. And then, yeah, basically we've got 3 of them here, but we've got all of our ranged here. We've got all our bruisers, so it's just a matter of, yeah, that was a bad move, because now they're outnumbered in mid. They should have left us and tried to attack us as we came through the choke, but they didn't do that. But 3 of them decided that they could take on 8 of us, and with heals. So yeah, bad move. This guy's trying to get out, so I try to stun him, and yeah, finish him off. Make sure he doesn't jump off. So yeah, now we sit around and we cap Star. Unfortunately though, they've just gone back and taken Sun, the little sneaky devils. So we head back to Sun to see if we can get that back.
Oh, they was taking me.
And you can hear myself complaining because every bow and mage is firing at me. But of course, you know, it's a bit rough right now with bow PR as they call it. It's just everyone seems to be playing range. It's really, really rough. As a Bruiser, especially as a medium Bruiser, it's probably alright in light armor a little bit. But as a medium Bruiser, it's just really rough because you lack the mobility and they can just run away from you so easily. And unless you've got heals, it can be quite a hard job as a Bruiser. It's definitely doable to go in solo, but you definitely need to be aware of where your heals are and just be patient in terms of where you push. I think when I'm playing solo on a Bruiser, I'm just really careful that I'll go in where the heals are, and I'm just quite patient and not to pick fights where like I'm easily going to get outnumbered. When I am going into a fight, if there's a lot of them, I always try to make sure I stay on the outskirts. I don't try to sort of run right into the middle of them and fight them, so I can't get body blocked in. So I always try to make sure that I've got to charge up to get away from them if I need to. So that helps quite a bit, but I'm hoping with the Greatsword, I'm definitely going to be playing Greatsword, and I think with the Greatsword things are going to get way better. I'm going to be able to play a lot more of a Bruiser style again, so that's going to be cool. So I'm looking forward to that. And I just sort of feel like if you have committed to the Bruiser, for all of those people that are playing Bruisers and they didn't give in and go and play a bow or a mage or something, or a light armor, blimmin' sword and board hatchet, you know, like you've basically honed those skills and that situational awareness over the last few months where it's been OPR. And it's just going to make you a better player. So when the Greatsword comes in and the meta shifts a little bit and it starts to come a little bit towards sort of medium armor Bruiser, our medium armor Bruiser way, we're going to all be waffle stomping these kids, you know what I'm saying?
Oh my god, would you guys stop fucking standing in the fucking way?
So that's me losing my patience with people that are just kind of, I don't know, I've noticed like that we've got a lot more players obviously that have come into New World over the last week, which is amazing. Like New World's feeling rejuvenated and alive, and it's just really cool. But then you get them doing dumb shit like you're seeing here, like where you have like 8 people just chasing after one guy. So that's kind of silly. However, that did work in our favor because I needed to come back to Sun to protect it. But yeah, it's just kind of like there's a lot of new players, so they're doing stupid things like standing in your way. You know, you'll have 8 people chase you down all over the blooming field because they just want that kill. So there's definitely a quality drop in the standard players, but that's alright because it also means you get more kills more easily. So I'm kind of happy about that. So I go to push out a Sun and go push down the middle, and then realise that
we're gonna have to run away.
Half their team's running out, so I have to back up. They've also just capped us in terms of the Barons, so things aren't looking as good as they were. Although we've got a good lead, but I see 2 of our guys in trouble here and getting attacked by them, so I come in to try to help out. So now we're definitely outnumbered from them, but I got them in some really good stuns there, and I did my Maelstrom, so I wiped a couple of them out. So now the odds are sort of evening up a little bit. But yeah, I was noticing that they were taking a lot of damage. And so I kind of stuck in the fight because I knew I'd probably be able to wipe them with the guys that I was with as well. So yeah, we actually do a pretty good... It's a pretty cool fight here where we managed to wipe out people that like had probably almost, I don't know, double our numbers, I'm guessing. Like that guy just, as you can hear me saying again, in a very polite way, he just ran right into my gravity well, which you know, I appreciate. Yeah, so, but overall though, that's so awesome that people are coming back to New World. It's again, it's the same with the Bruiser scenario. Like all of us that have stuck with New World through the tough times, through the rocky seas. You know, things are looking good now. They had 40,000 people that logged in, so that's pretty cool. Like, I haven't seen numbers like that for a long ass time. And just they've had to bring in a New World in the Australasian server that I'm on, which is also cool. But yeah, it's just like the game's definitely feeling alive. I think both Brimstone stands, we're going to see a whole bunch of new people come back. I just feel like all those, it feels good because there's so many people that were going, oh, New World's dead, or New World sucks, and it's just like, you know, those of us that stuck with it, it's like we're the OGs, we're the originals, you know, and we always will be. So I'm kind of feeling good about that. But it's also really, really cool to have people coming back or people starting to play the game. Like, it's just feeling like almost that shiny, brand new kind of MMO feel about it again. And I mean, like, the combat in this game is just so good. And where I play in Australia, it's like low ping finding because they've got servers in Australia, which is also really good. I mean, it's just such a good game. I just love it. Hence the reason I've stuck with it. So, and hence the reason why I stuck with Bruiser, because it's such a good class. So yeah, you've got to just stick through the tough times, I guess, and come out the end happier and hopefully better. Alright, so we're kind of like pushing around a little bit out in the open here. We still have Sun, but they're starting to cap Moon, and they've got Star, so yeah, I'm just coming back because I know that they're going to start pushing into Sun because it's the only base that's left because we've lost Star and Moon, so yeah, I'm kind of coming back to help with that. I see a couple of these guys pushing around the side, so I think we'll go for a quick wipe. Then this Bruiser comes in, and I managed to trap him in a stun, and then we finish him off. And then I push into mid, try to come up behind them again, but I end up taking a lot of... Well, I end up eating the stun, and then taking a bit of damage, so I back up a little bit and try to get out of the way of their ranged, so I can get my health back up. So I'm just trying to finish this Bruiser, because I know that he doesn't have a heal, and so just finish him off, so it's one less person we have to worry about. And just kind of hanging around on the outside of the sun so that anyone who tries to push in, we can wipe them out. So I sit at Moon for a little bit of time just to see if they come in, but no one comes in. So I decide to push out because I see this guy trying to kill Blue the bear. So we get into a little fight here. I can see the healer again. So just trying to stun the healer and make sure they die, which we do because we capture them in a stun. And then it's basically just trying to chase this person down, but then they have some people coming in. So yeah, we're just kind of like, as long as we're the ones winning the fight, just kind of run around the peripheries and get little fights. But of course now their whole team comes in, and so this is a bit of kind of danger Will Robinson situation, but I managed to get them in a stun. So I'm just sort of fighting around here, and just standing in the healing circle and just trying to kind of kill anyone who comes in. Definitely starts to get a little hairy as they start to outnumber us, but as long as I'm in the healing circle, I'm doing better than I think. I tried to get that Path of Destiny off in order to get a heal off it, but I end up firing it off in the middle of nowhere. Got this guy on hit me, so I just try to get around the back of line of sight so I can get a little sneaky stun on them. So I'm just really just fighting for my life and hoping I can get some people in a big AoE damage, but it doesn't happen. Then I come back to the altars, back to the same place as I was before, and you can see that all the reds are just kind of fighting around here. So I try to get into a fight. I can see the healer over on the right, but I'm also just trying to use line of sight. Gotta do that thing again where I fire the Path of Destiny off in the middle of nowhere, so that's really good. But I think I'm just kind of like a little bit sort of like, oh my god. But I try to pull this guy around the side so he's away from his healer and away from his group, so that I can do some damage to him. But then I see a whole bunch of them coming in. But I managed to get them in a stun and then a big grav well where I takes the 10% fortify. And I've also slowly noticing that I'm getting heals. So I try to get on their healer. But it's just, I'm taking a lot of damage because there's like, what, 8 of them. So I'm trying to sort of kite them, get my heals when I can, dodge them, get stuns off on them. And but more than anything, I'm just trying to stay freaking alive as long as I can. Because as long as they're here chasing after me, they're not doing what they should be doing. Okay, so I come back down and everyone is fighting back at mid. They've actually managed to not be chasing one person on the outside, and they've actually decided to go into sun and actually take it. There's a big group fight happening here, which I'm loving. So once again, back in the healing circle, swinging the old axe and just trying to kill these people that are fighting on the outside, which we are doing quite effectively. Managed to try to get him a Path of Destiny to kill him as he runs away. Get on the door. This guy, he brings it down. So now we come in and we're just going to basically try to dominate mid. This guy left a little late to try to get away. And yeah, suffers the consequences as we manage to finish him off. And so now we just cap mid. And then we have the advantage back in our favor. So I come back in, we've got this little guy running around with his rapier. I'm not going to bother chasing him, there's just no point. As long as he doesn't stand in mid and cap it, then that's kind of the main thing. So just standing here, capping mid, and then I see a bunch of them coming in. Of course, half of our groups decided to run out and attack everyone on the outside. So they actually, I think there was more of them than us. But I get a nice little healing circle, and then a couple of them come in and help finish these two off, which is good. Chase after this guy for a little bit, but again, I'm not in the... I don't tend to chase after light armor people, especially if they've got a rapier. I'm more about the objectives, man. So I just come back to make sure that sun is protected. I see some people fighting on the outside. This guy comes up with a sword board, tries to get me to stun, and all of a sudden there's 2 of them. So I just come back into base to give me a little bit of space from them. And then I come back out, and then of course our team has also come out at the same time. So I look back, I can see that I've got support from my team. I also see that they've got a healer down here. So I just stand in the healing sacred, try to finish this guy off, thinking that he'll be killed by all of us, but the healer actually does a pretty good job of keeping him up. So I chase after him, and then I realize the healer's got to go. So I get on the healer. Again, I don't really care if I kill the healer. I just want to keep like pressuring them so that they're not doing that much healing. I managed to catch the healer in a stun, put some damage into them. Just really just trying to stick on them. and be a bit of a nuisance, because it's not like they can heal very well if they've just got someone constantly attacking them. They managed to try to get, well, actually, they try to get me in a riposte, but I dodge it, so that's quite helpful. And then, so their group's starting to build up, although we do have a heading circle, and so I'm just kind of trying to, you notice that I dodged out of the group because I don't want to be in the middle of that ball of them. I kind of want to just be fighting on the outskirts so I can dodge backwards if I need to, and then back up. But at the moment, I'm standing in the middle of some big hills. Try to put a grav roll down to give me that 10% fortify, so I've got a bit more sustainability when I'm fighting them because I am outnumbered here. And just trying to wear them down because I was the one with the heals and they weren't. Try to catch them in a stun. Managed to hit this guy so close. But unfortunately he gets a heal from that lemon healer that I didn't kill before. So, but hey, look, I'm keeping them fighting on the outside, so that means they're not capturing sun. But I think that's the time where I'm like, okay, I better peace out and get back in where our teammates are in. I drop a grav while on the doorway so they don't come in, just to give me that little bit of space and reprieve. Then when they do come in, I drop all my stuns on them. Bloody bastard knocks me back. But yeah, just standing in the doorway, standing in the hills, and trying to make sure that these guys get wiped out. We suddenly do really quickly when they ball up, and I just am able to kill one of them off, and the other person gets killed off by someone else. So now we just come back to the door and do that psychological game of being like, if you come in here, you're going to have to deal with a lot of damage, and just then hopefully they just trickle in ones and twos, so we can kill them off as they come in like that. So we've got them locked because of Baron, and yeah, we've pretty much got mid covered, so we're getting all the points. So at the moment, once again, we're just relaxing on the outside. I see this healer here, so when I see a healer, I'll almost always go for them if I can, just because if you want to bring down a group, bring down the healer first, and then the rest of the group tends to fall pretty quickly. So we managed to kill that healer. So I do a little double take to see if I want to push down that road there, but I think that there's just too many range down there. So I kind of come back and then see that there's a couple of guys here trying to bully some of the people in our backline, so I decide to come and try to help out. Managed to catch that guy in a stun and then do a maelstrom on him, so that gets his health really low, makes him back up, put that other guy into a gravity well, and get a few light attacks on him, so his health gets really low, like almost to the point of death, and then I managed to finish him off, and then we finished the second guy off. So good little successful engagement there. And then it's pretty much GG, game over at this point. I mean, there's just no way they're going to come back from this. So then I just see the big group coming down here. And this is kind of when I think, you know what? It's time to stat pad a little bit. I mean, like, the game's basically over. Oh, I can see the healer here. So once again, I just try to get on the healer. Just kind of through... It's kind of what I do. So I see their numbers building up and I try to bail out. And then I think to myself, wait, we've almost won this game. I may as well just go for gold. Just jump in there, get a big stun, and try to do as much damage as I can. So instead of like fighting their whole team to a big maelstrom, try to almost get away. I didn't realize I did get away. I actually do, but then I come back in to do a lemon gravity well on them. But hey, look, get a stat pad, alright? Get yourself those extra points. So we end up winning the game. And I managed to become top, which is wicked, and 12 kills, and I think I did like 700k damage, so I was kind of happy with that. Anyway, I will catch you guys all up with the dueling video soon.